Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing well, having a great day or a great night, and let's get started. So in this video we are going to take a closer look into Dow Jones, the dollar, and the crypto market. Yes, we are going to take a look into some altcoins and also Bitcoin, and last we are going to take a look into XRP, okay, because I just want more time. So all this being said, let's get started. So Dow Jones, so you guys remember, this is not only about Dow Jones chart, okay? What is this about mostly is the United States economy, okay? So we do know there is inflation, there are the dollar devaluation, but things are still, let's say, looking good. Okay, so we still don't have a imminent red light, and this is very important because it adds to time. Okay, so the thing that I want to show you guys is we are not going to jump into fundamentals, which is the most important thing here. Okay, all of this you guys can do your research. Okay, so for example, interest rates, when the Fed is going to cut interest rates, jobs that are being added, the inflation itself. So all these things you guys can check for itself. So it's pretty much the standard, okay? So what we can see here on Dow Jones chart, so for example, I'm putting all of it together, okay? But of course, we won't have enough time to make a short video to talk about all of it. So looking to patterns, forms, what we can expect, is it bullish, is it bearish, what we can see. So first off, we have bullish continuation. Yeah, so we have evidence of a strong bullish behavior. So this actually, let's go here. Okay, and now we are going to go here. I'm doing this because I want you guys' eyes to follow this one step by step to then we jump into a conclusion, okay? So by doing this, we are going to isolate the shoulders. Yes, we have inverted head and shoulders. And by the way, it is massive, okay? So here we have the left shoulder, which didn't had a bullish signature here back in the day, but it is still a left shoulder. Okay, now we have the head itself, and this is behaving exactly like the right shoulder. Okay, so we have technical evidence, and right here in the right shoulder we had the Dow Jones signature. Each time it goes flat, it loses it to then come back. So it's very, very rare to see like a head and shoulders on Dow Jones. The last one we saw was a few years ago. Yep. So here we had, let's say, a principle of a possible descending pattern, or like a possible falling wedge, or like a bull flag. So descending, giving it up a little bit before continuing going up. So it is looking great, okay? And now we have strong lower high, okay? Which leads to possible tightening patterns. But once again, Dow Jones as an index doesn't all the time give us a symmetrical picture, symmetrical scenario, which is like the perfection where we can properly read, properly find the targets, so on and on and on. So we, let's say we have to work with a 50% standard. Okay, so for example, is this looking good? Okay, let's acknowledge this as it is. Oh, is it about to break? Okay, so let's maybe it is not the time to expect full development. So it leads to more questions, but in the right direction. So this is truly great. So for example here, the tightening behavior. So this here, it's young, which means can't be trusted yet. So once again, it's not fully developed. So right now it's a coin flip, making a call here, because we could go down before going up, or can just stay here for a while and then go up. Okay, so the step by step. What else we could expect here for inverted head and shoulders outcome? New highs. Yes. You guys know the drill. I only use this tool for a quick assessment of the possible target. We do know we can trust 100% of it. One of the reasons is because this is a logarithmic scale, and I do acknowledge this. So a possible first target can be, it is 48,000. Yes, 48,000. So this is, it is more accurate. And it also takes Dow Jones into, just give me a second, folks. Yes, exactly. 46,368. So that's a trigger for later continuation. Yeah, so this is natural growth. Fantastic. Okay, all this being said, now let's move to dollar. Okay, so the dollar, what we can expect for the dollar. So we have dollar devaluation. We have soon the Fed cutting interest rates, which is going to make the dollar weaker. And once this happens, money moves to the markets. Yes, because we have inflation. So it doesn't make sense to leave money parked in the bank account. Time-wise, there is no way to tell when this is going to happen. Not yet. Not yet. And once again, this is an index, okay, which makes our work harder here, trying to get like exact day when it is going to happen. So for example, there are some times that the bullishness of June may start on the first week, sometimes on the second week, and sometimes later in the month, around the third week. And there is no way to forecast this, at least not yet. Okay, but the most important thing here, it is not time, it is the direction, because we are 100% sure about it. Okay, so for example, what if you are right about time but wrong about the direction? It is worthless, right? So it is better to have at least one that gives us what is most important, which will always be the direction. And we do know, once again, that the dollar is going down big time. The question is when. So let me see. Okay, if I'm not wrong, the first step, it's close to 89 points. Okay, first step. Of course, we could see a battle of midway right here, around this range. It would be something like this. Okay, but we are definitely, in my opinion, at this moment, 89 the next logical step. So right now let's start with Ethereum. Yes. So Ethereum, first, we gotta take a look on the change, because we had a change. Just give me a moment. It is right here. Just give me a second, folks. Right here. Okay, so this was the change here. Here was the break already. So let's one line for each other, just for you guys to remember what we had. So why I'm drawing all these lines? So each single line goes through a pivot. Okay, and this is just a visual representation of all the breaks we had on Ethereum. So when we start to have when we have to make adjustments into these lines, it is a bad signal. But it's a short-term bad signal. It doesn't change much. Okay, so each single one failed. The first failed, the second failed, and the third also failed. So what we do have right now we have this one right here. Okay, and then you may say, well, but hold a second, you can't leave all those pivots behind. Yes, I can, of course, because this is a bigger structure. I'm acknowledging all of it. And to acknowledge all of it, we must go from outside to inside. That's the way. It is not the other way around. So this is what I'm talking about. Just give me a moment. Let's see. Okay, yes. Yes. So first thing, acknowledging the structure. Then we go into the inside. So from outside to inside. And this is also the way we use to properly acknowledge Elliott waves theory. Yes. I'm not going to details here, but just for you guys to have an idea. Yes. So this here, it's a solid one. It is not going to change. This one here could change, but I don't think it is going to change. So that's why I'm using the solid line. We don't have a lot of time. So Ethereum next step, it's 4181. Okay, so it has to happen. What else we have here? We have almost the same structure that we have on Dow Jones, but in a bigger scale. Yes, right here. Okay, so right now, Ethereum is looking great. It is, okay, because otherwise I would say that, okay, so it's look completely horrible. And now let me clean these lines for in zooming in to guys to understand what I'm trying to say. Do you see this small gap here in the upper section? It's a small gap. Do you see the gap here? It's bigger, right? Which means we have strong aggression here in the upper section. And we are having not so, let's say, a big aggression in the lower section. This means that we have more strength than weakness. Even for a tightening pattern that sometimes should be like relative one to the other. And it is not. There is a lot of aggression here. But my only concern is that So it is not a full developed structure. It is not symmetrical. And I don't think we would have enough time to fully develop it before a bull break. This is not only about Ethereum, I'm talking about the whole crypto market. Because otherwise, from this guy here to this guy here, and from the next one, we could expect a bull break on the second half of next year. And we do know we don't have all this time. You see? So while looking at charts, we always have to look at the calendar as well. Okay? It is not so simple, but it is also not rocket science. Another thing, when we take a look here, so we have one bearish candle here, then we have a indecision one, and then we have a completely bearish one here. Okay, if you take the candles study solo here, you would say, okay, is it time to short? This is going down. It is looking bad, but there's a big but here. Today, in the times we are living, I came to learn that this represents what? The market, it's not ready yet. So they buy time with indecision candles and with candles like this that appear to be bearish, but the whole market momentum, it is bullish. Okay, so it is this is something new. I made a video for the Champions Club yesterday, and we were talking about this new thing that we have to learn, which is the market is showing something and playing other. So it's kind of the bull, bear, bear, bull, but in a different way. So he's giving us the information to go, and when we go, it goes up. Let's say if we bought, it goes up a little bit, then falls back down where we were before. So this forces us to take profits to protect the position, or to enter a negative scenario where we were positive, and then you gotta think, I'm going to run this to liquidation, or I'm going to save some profits to play again. So by doing all those moves, you end up paying double fees. You see? So the exchanges are winning. Yeah, so they're going to pay, but they want to collect more. You see? This is something new that is happening that we also can't forget. So now let's take a look into what else? XLM? Can be XLM? I think it is. XLM. Just a second. Okay, XLM. So XLM became one of these case scenarios, just like XRP before the 50 cents break. So I was recording videos and saying, this is it. We are very, very close. But then it takes like 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. It is about to happen, but we don't know exactly when, but we do know the direction. And time is, it's really tough to get both together, you know. And when we get it, it's really fantastic. But again, it's really hard as well. So once again, just like XRP, before double break on the 50 cents. That's the scenario we have here. There is not much to talk about. We can take a closer look, but once again, it is not a big deal. So let's see. Structure-wise, yeah. So we really had, just like Dow Jones, inverted head and shoulders. Okay, so what I did when I sold my truck, I bought not based on the charts itself. It was just like, I gotta do this and I'm not going to wait. So if we go up from here, that's great, fantastic. But if not, I'm not worried, I'm not concerned because it is a long-term investment. So I'm talking about months. Okay, so I truly don't care. This is cheap already. Okay, and again, it's an invitation. So about the example that I shared with you guys just now, the market give us the signal. Okay, and the signal was right here. Inverted head and shoulders, way to play the lower section of the right shoulder. So fantastic, right? Great, went up. Fantastic, amazing. But then back to where? Back to the place where we placed positions or bought or long, whatever. So imagine the frustration. But it is the right move, but it's frustrating. And I can tell you this because not long ago, I bought XDC at 2 cents. 2 cents. It went up a little bit, then fall back to the 2 cents. It was nuts before going to 16 cents, if I'm not wrong, before that crazy figure. And this is not the first time this is happening, but it is started to happen too often. Okay, so lower low, lower low, lower low, higher low, higher low. This is looking good, truly good. Okay, but once again, the market's trying to play us. Let me give you another example here. If I'm not wrong, it was from a few years ago, 2020. Let's see. I made a video about it back in the day. Yes, 2020, right here. Let me show you. For you guys to see that sometimes things repeat, but not in exactly the same way. Inverted head and shoulders. There are many ways to acknowledge this one. You see, we had the break. It didn't reach the target. Went back more than 100% back into the inverted head and shoulders. But there is more to see here. There is more. Let me show you. So this was the place to go long or to buy, right? The very right shoulder. Yes? And then it stayed where? It not stayed. It came back to where? To a higher low. Okay? So let's do the exercise. Low, lower low, lower low, lower low. Low, higher low before the go. You see? Now that you guys understand it, let's go back to where we are today. 4 hours. Once again, because practice leads to perfection. Left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, the neckline, the break, the signal to buy, goes back down, making what? Higher low. So we had the low, lower low, lower low, lower low, higher low, high low, and high low. It's a marginal one, but it's still high low. And here, people who bought or made a long, their liquidation goes below, probably here. So they are completely safe even from this horrible action right here. How do I know this? Because that's the way to do it. So what do we end up with? A perfect low, 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 high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low, which is a change. It's a fundamental change, right? So we have inverted the head and shoulders, which means it is a bottom reversal. But you always gotta have in mind what? If you look only into this, you may say, oh, I inverted head and shoulders, a reversal. We were bearish and now we are bullish. No. And this is one of the things most people still can't understand. So when we zoom out, what we see? There is no bear market here. There is no bearish trend here. There is no bearish trend line. There is no none of this. Everything here, it's 100% bullish. Okay, so it is just steps on the continuation. Okay, so this whole move here, okay, from 2017. Then we had all this correction, which is 100% inside previous gains. So the bulls are 100% in control because this is all inside bar action. It is dominated. It's controlled. The same goes right here. Correction, higher low, high low, high low, high low. Okay, correction. Then monster, just one candle, absolute control. We have little inside bar correction, and this is the way for the bull to go. Bang, correction, bang, correction. So we can mistake a correction, a half correction, with a bearish trend, a bear market. The only people who will look this way are the ones who look closer into the charts that don't have a macro view. So once again, XLM is a great example right now, and it's looking truly, truly fantastic. And by the way, I forgot to mention something on Ethereum. Let me show you right now. It is just another example of exchanges trying to play us. How? Let me show you. Do you guys remember when I shared a tweet from Yoda? I wrote Ethereum and the Yoda. That was the time for a perfect setup, perfect move, playing by the book, which is one set, two set, 30 set, way to go, place to long or to buy. What the market did it? Punished those playing by the book. In this book, it is not a public one. It is not for the average Joe. This is for pros, people who know what they are doing. So the market went from punishing the average Joe and now is trying to punish professionals. How I know this? Because when you know how things work, you can identify when there is a change. We already identified this. Okay, so another way to see this, because this is probably the one of the ways most people will be able to read it. Okay, so this is one of the ways. Okay, it makes a fake break to then come back down. And what is the point here? Playing by the book, my liquidation should go, so my long should go right here, in my liquidation right here. So it went very, very close to liquidation. But the goal here was not to reach health positions, or ones with low leverage. That wasn't the point. The point is to get the people who are greedy with heavy, high leverage. Okay, because that's the ones who are going to be punished before the fan goes. So the exchanges know exactly what they are doing. So all this being said, is there a change? Is Ethereum looking bad? No, it is looking completely healthy yet. It is looking truly great and truly bullish. And if you zoom out, you can see it as well. You see, there is a big fundamental change here. We had the lower highs, then we made a break, then blasted previous one, the previous one, previous ones, and it's only losing to this one right here. But we already can see the change, right? So low, consolidation, bang, consolidation, bang, consolidation, bang, very, very soon. So this is the way. Also, we already can identify this behavior right here. Take a look. Consolidation, little volatility, a fake break, went back where the liquidations for high leverage positions would be. So you see, making greedy people being liquidated before continuation. So there is always something new to learn because the market, it's a living entity. It's always learning, always adapting, always changing. And if one can't change together, it is going to be left behind. I can tell you that I am really, really lucky to be able to do this full time. So this is one of the reasons I can identify and see these changes, the behavior, because I can spend a lot of time looking to the markets, the charts, patterns, changes, structures, etc., etc. Now let's take a look. Some people asked for Flare. Let's take a look into Flare then. The next DC. What do we have right now? So we had the changes here. There is nothing clear. There is no symmetry. Not yet. To be honest, folks, at this moment, there is little to acknowledge here. Okay, because once again, there is no clear structure. It doesn't. Okay, which is it's quite a problem. I'm not saying it's bad. It is just not being able to properly read something. It is not what we want, right? There is a small break here, almost flat, but in the lower section, it is not a problem. So this is 1 cent realm. There is no bearish development here. Okay, so really nothing clear. Really. Even if we try to play the tightening setup here, it is not going to work. The only thing that we have, yeah, it is not even to be accounted. It's really not a big deal. Let's take a closer look on the 3 days. So here on the 3 days, it feels like a tightening pattern, a bullish continuation structure, but we don't have technical evidence. So I can say it's 100% clear. So it is not like Ethereum or XLM, you see. But once again, it is not looking bad. It is just the case that is not clear. So I can tell you, oh, this is fantastic. I can't. I wish I could, but I can't. But it is also not looking bad. So we are in a void. You see, so it's a complete dark yet. What would be my approach right now? What is the market momentum? That is the best approach right here. So the market momentum right now It's fantastic. So very soon, probably, we are going to see good development here and not only in Flare. Now let's take a quick look on Flare, not Flare, Songbird. It's been a while. SGB. At this point, and this is funny. This is funny because right now Songbird is looking better than Flare, but there is something that I didn't like it. That I really didn't like about Songbird is that there is a bigger seller pressure than Flare have. I mean, it is not something bad, but it's something to be acknowledged. So, for example, if today I had to choose between Songbird and Flare, I would be 100% into Flare. You see, I better have something that doesn't have such a big seller's pressure. You see, so uh, let's see what we have here. We have 16, 16, 32, 64% plus developed. Um, as you guys can see, there is more aggression here than we have here, but it is not something that, oh, this is it. No, 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 no. It is just acknowledging things step by step. So it is not a big deal. Looking better in the chart, but not in the book than Flare. Okay, once again, I will choose Flare today instead of Songbird. Um, Structure-wise, I don't think we have something clear here. Back in the day, we had the possibility for a cup and handle right here. Didn't play it out. But Aiden and Eve, maybe, but it's still to unfold if it is the case. So we can jump into conclusions without proper evidence. So I will just leave be for now, and I would use the market momentum as a compass. Okay. Now let's take a look into XDC. Okay, XDC. Here we go. So following the example on XLM, this is where I purchased XDC. And this is the move that I told you guys. It went up, then went almost 100% down before the big one. And I truly believe that we are right here today for XLM, for example. Okay, right here. XDC, let's take a closer look. 4 hours. 4 hours. I was a little bit skeptical about going back to 5 cents. And I shared this that we had a lesson to learn here on XDC. Let me show you guys. So this is the head and shoulders that I mentioned before. And this was the little bear that I said we had in the side. So it completely played out. Even the target went way below the target. Take a look. Oh, it was almost perfect. Very, very interesting. And a minor break here, which doesn't make a big deal out of it. But there is something here that I want to see, and I will only be able to see into smaller time frames. Let me see what we have. This is truly great if it is the case. The things that we want into a scenario that is bullish or bulls dominating, which is corrections back to the 50 or to the 61 and not before. If this is the case, XDC stops here, then it is fantastic, truly fantastic. Once again, I'm going to also use the market momentum as a example here. Okay. Let's take a quick look into Bitcoin. Yes. Mm, cha-da-da, cha-da-da. Oh, and by the way, believe it or not, we still have people who think this is what we have right here. So you see the point. People try to use things to uh, how can I say this in English? It's they they are still bearish and they are still wrong because it's a bullish environment. So they try to build cases out of speculation. So they make a living from uncertainty and fear and a lack of knowledge. So they can't, for example, I'm going to make an analysis, okay? And I'm going to show you, present to you evidence. Then I will make a strong case. But these guys, they are so hurt because they are bearish because they missed an opportunity. And when you miss the opportunity and you don't know what you are doing, you will try to play in the other side. So let me give you a different example here. Let's say you are waiting for the train, okay? You are waiting for the train. We wish I could draw properly. Yeah. So the train already left and you got left behind. Okay. So what these people are trying to do, they will try to stop the train, but they are not being able to because it is against the trend. And that's when they keep trying to, oh, it is going to stop. The train's about to stop. You see, oh, the brakes are wrong. Oh, that's it. It is going to break. It is going to collapse. While a smart person, what a smart person will do? Okay, I will wait for the next train. There is always an opportunity. And that's it. Or even, okay, so I missed the train. Great. I'm going to pick a taxi. You see? But these people are always trying to jump into the counter hand. And so this is one of the problems they have. Bitcoin. Let's get closer and closer. You see, this is not a big move. This correction right here, which followed the Dow Jones correction. It's a marginal high, new high. Yes, it is. And so the question is, it is not the case that Bitcoin can't keep going. The case is, Bitcoin, it is not going to go until US stocks, Dow Jones, is ready. This is the point. There are no losing cannons. There are not. The time for this was back in 2017, 18, and 19. Now it's over. No losing cannons, no wild cards. That's why we are seeing a wait. Okay, so we already talked a lot about Bitcoin, and there is truly not a lot to see here. Not really not. It is just the wait. Okay, wait for continuation. Uh, yeah, we really don't have anything else to talk about here. So let's talk about XRP. Just give me a second, folks. Okay. So, is it worth it to take a look into XRP on the big scale? I don't think so. We already did this so many times, so many, and right now we are in another step. So right now it doesn't make sense to look back. Everything that is inside the square, it is not worth it to look at. Why? Because we are in a new stage. And in this new stage is consolidation before continuation. The previous stage was consolidation as well before the break. So right now we are at the break. Okay? So it really, really doesn't make sense. And folks, for those of you looking to, you are only going to understand once you know how it properly works. But those of you trying to read Elliott waves theory or to apply it, you can't do it in a regular chart. That's why we always use logarithmic charts, and not only for that, also to properly acknowledge pivots, patterns, behavior, etc., etc., etc. That's the way. Okay. So let me see. Okay. Okay, we have something, just something to take a look here. The only thing we have for XRP right now is a falling structure. Okay. Some of you guys may say, well, but if this is a descending channel, we can expect more downside. No, this is wrong. Just because we have something that make a suggestion, it doesn't mean it has to play this way. Remember when I told you guys that the market is adapting? When there is a structure, they know that we can read it. So people who play by the book, what they are going to do? Oh, we have a bull flag, but there is a lot of room here. So it makes more sense if XRP goes down before going up. And this is the catch. This is the trap. Those people, and by the way, even Mr. Buffoon sold the 20 or so percent of his XRP at 180.80. So they already made the mistake. And right now, most of people are looking to fix their mistake. So this is the perfect time for a trap. And what should be a trap right now, in my opinion? People expect full development. This may be the scenario for we just go very, very soon. And we, believe it or not, we still have a lot of people who are expecting this. 50 cents. Based on what? Nothing. Opium. Probably opium. So it is just crazy, right? So we only have one clear structure here. I mean, it is not 100% clear. It's only 64% plus developed. So it is not fully developed. But give us one idea. Also, I told you guys in advance, this looks like a Head and Shoulders, but it is not a Head and Shoulders. And time-wise, I was right on here. Right. So I told you guys this back in the day. At first, everybody saying this is a Head and Shoulders, and that XRP were going down to what was it? I don't even remember the targets. Yes. So they said basically XRP would go back to $1, 50, 60 cents, 120, 130. And I said, folks, this is wrong. This is what the market wants people to believe. They want people to believe this is a head and shoulders, a top reversal structure, but it is not. So once again, it shows something and plays in the other hand. So this is happening often, way often. And even on Bitcoin, we had multiple times a head and shoulders and Bitcoin broke up. We saw this, I covered all of it, all the times it happened. And right now on XRP, it is not different. You see? And also, just like Ethereum, I don't believe there is enough time for a full development, even though it's possible, yes. But I don't see it happening. But of course, could happen. It's very complicated. So let's say, so this is just one example. I don't know. Okay. So let's say this is true. This scenario is true. That we go down, but go for a higher low. Okay. Just one example, not making a call here. XRP is flat. Again, I say this could be a trap. You see? So right now, there is nothing 100% clear. There is not. But of course, could happen, and people would freak out again completely. So I don't believe this is going to happen, but I don't have proof to say otherwise. You see? When dealing with patterns, we do know their outcomes. But once again, knowing how something should behave, it is not going to tell how it is going to behave. The market's in control, not a call, not a structure, not knowledge. It is what the market wants to be. Uh, Questions about forecast and possible targets. There is a lot of questions. Uh, just give me a second, folks. Okay, so in the Champions Club, we have some tools that we use. For example, I use on the private updates, and we are discussing, talking about possible things, this and that. But when making public videos, I don't show these tools, but I talk about it in the same way that I talk into the Champions Club. So the only thing I hold back are the tools, the knowledge, the intellectual property. But the analysis itself, I'm not holding anything back, nothing. Okay. So for example, if I'm talking about possible targets here on its run, I also talk about it in the Champions Club. So it is exactly the same thing. The only thing is, the only difference are the tools, the things that we use there that I don't share in public. And for reasons that you guys know better. The copycats and the opium dealers will steal everything our way and say that it belongs to them and that you guys know it better. Okay. So, some guys asked, what if we go to 16? I don't remember exactly now. Oh, yeah. Some said 15 it's a possible target, and then whatever, 8, 7. So let's say a 7. So this is not, so these numbers are not from me. Some people asked questions about this. And then, for example, something like this, correction here, bang. Of course, not to the 100%, the $100 round 2 digits, but let me see if I can get this right. No, it's also not this one. Let me see if I can make it better. Just a second, folks. Okay, so let's let's do this different. I already recorded forecast, been talking about this for years. So right now, there is a lot of doubt, fear, and uncertainty. Okay. One of the things that I said, and I always say, is according to Elliott Wave's theory, wave number 3 is the most profitable one, the stronger one, strong above every others. Okay. And we don't have it yet, but we are going to have it soon. So trying to measure the behavior, the size, or the strength of wave number 3, or you can read it as just the next leg. Okay, you don't even have to acknowledge as a wave. And I don't even like to talk about it because thanks to those noobs, this term it is getting a bad name. Okay, because they vandalize it day after day, and so it's really a shame. Okay, but yeah. So the most important thing for us to do is to wait for it. And when it is over, we are going to measure. When this is over, we can measure, have a much better idea about the next two pivots, which are wave 4 and 5. That's it. There is so most people, like 99% of people who talk about Elliott Waves theory, they still don't understand the most important thing. The Elliott Waves theory, it's a lagging indicator, but it's the one that gets as closer as possible to be the main event, the first one, the one that tells us what is going to happen. And not only these two, others as well. So with Elliott Waves theory, you are going to measure what already happened. This is the way. There is no other way. There is no way to fake it. It's impossible. That's why I say we gotta wait for this next leg up, see how powerful it is. So, for example, this is very simple. If it goes straight, let's say to $21, then we most likely will have, let's say, a much better idea of the probabilities to see like 50 in this run. You see? So before it happens, there is no way to find it out. For example, if we have kind of a not so strong move on this third leg, so let's say $15, and I move down to $8, then we do know that it is way likely to stop below 30. Why this? When we are having this move right here, which is the crazy moves that make crazy runs, volatility decreases. It is not a scenario that volatility it is going to increase. It's completely the opposite. So some people are not going to understand because they don't understand how Elliott and also other things work. So for example, when I say we gotta to wait for this to have a confirmation, and even though a confirmation is something dangerous to say, but it is what it is. We are going to measure what we have. Then we jump into the next step. But most of these people are so familiar and comfortable with what the zigzag people does, which is, oh, it's here, then here, and bang. That's what they do. And this is 100% wrong. You see? You are not measuring what you have. You are just making a guesswork out of a tool, out of a theory. Okay, so there is a lot of anxiety now, anxiety, and this is really, really bad because anxiety can take over uh, space for knowledge, for the learning curve. Okay, so let me tell you this. The Champions Club is around, if I'm not wrong, for more than 5 years. More than five. I used to make a video about the Champions Club like 1 or 2 times a year. So in 365 days, only 2 videos about the Champions Club. But lately, I'm not recording any video about the Champions Club. What I did was something quite the opposite. It was very cheap to join the Champions Club. And I raised the bar, raised it to a level that makes people, it is hard for most of people to join. And why this? So one of the reasons, again, is because it was too cheap. The other, we don't want gamblers. We want only people who are real, who really want to learn and be able to make their own decisions. So this is the point. You see? Because once you learn all these things, you will be able to understand what is going on. When to push the buy button, when to push the sell button. You are going to make the analysis on your way. You are not going to watch videos from anybody else. And this is the ultimate goal. So I do understand some people who say, well, this is not clear. Well, I don't understand that we have to wait for it to measure. And I do understand why. I'm not going to break or fully break down everything about Elliott Wave's theory here for free. You guys know people are going to catch it, steal it, will have no value at all, and then that's it. So I use it. I always use it, but I'm just not showing exactly how it works. You see? Because true knowledge holds value. Okay? And once again, I understand when some of you guys are not be able to follow the idea. I do know. But that's why I try to make things as simple as possible. So if you are just a average investor, you don't have to worry about these things. Because either you are able to do it or you need help from someone. There is no other way. And most of people in the social media, in the internet, they are looking for clues on what to do. And most of the times that's where they are caught in making a mistake. And sometimes these mistakes are very cost. So what I can tell you guys is, if you are really looking to learn, you should consider joining the Champions Club. If you don't have the time or the patience, don't worry about it. Okay? You can just keep going with the videos that I share, the public videos. It is more than okay for you eventually go and check the video, follow the idea, try to learn this and learn that. That's completely fine for you. And you don't need the Champions Club for this. So imagine the Champions Club as a plus, another level, something. So this is not a, I don't have to put flowers in the Champions Club. What is the Champions Club? The Champions Club is a community. It holds my legacy. And this legacy, it's the future. Okay? And it is something that you are only going to see, this brave new world, if you join and learn these things that we always talk about, but you guys are not be able to see it. Okay? So if you want to even consider of making a living from the markets, that's for you. If you are only investing, let's say for this year, it's a season, and you don't care about the learning curve, it is not for you. Don't worry, you are completely fine with public videos, public updates, and some analysis here and there. So there is a big difference. And I do understand. I'm not going to recommend the Champions Club for someone who is let's say a seasonal investor, because it doesn't make sense, right? Even if you have the resources, it would be a waste. You could, for example, so I'm charging today $10,000 for a lifetime pass. So think about it. If the Champions Club is not for you, you could use this $10,000 to make an amazing trip with your family, to have a great time with your family or with friends. That would be something perpetual into your memory, which holds more value for you. So you see, and I do know all of this because back in the day, years and years ago, I had the same struggle. What should I do? What is going to be the future for me? I will be able to make a living from this? You see, so I went there. I do know how it works. Okay, so don't think as the Champions Club as something that is really, really necessary. Okay, because once again, maybe it is not for you. So please don't worry about the Champions Club. Focus on the video updates. You can learn a lot from these videos alone. Okay, and once again, the most important, let's measure what we have, not we don't. Okay, because so for example, we can measure in a safe way the third, oops, forgive me, the next leg, okay, and even the final one. There we could measure it, okay, but it is very, very dangerous because we are going to have very little time. So there is a big difference from this guy right here and this guy right here. So this is Maya on green, and this is Maya on yellow, and this is Maya on red. Safe, way to go. Attention, there is danger ahead, and complete danger. Okay, so just give it more time and you guys are not going to regret it. We are very, very close. I know it is frustration. It's completely horrible. This, oh, goes up a little bit. Oh, goes down a little bit. Oh, there is more consolidation. Oh, we have the weekends. Oh, next week. Oh, nothing happened. Oh, next month. I do know, folks. I do know this is horrible. It's frustrating, but that's the price we pay for being here first. The first to come, first to leave. Last to come, first to leave. Oops. Forgive me. First to come, first to leave. Last to come, last to leave. Yes, that's it. Okay. So let's give the markets just a few more days. Very, very soon we are going to have a much better idea. And I believe we are going to be in a much better position very, very soon. Okay, because otherwise I will be the first to come here and say, hold on, folks, things are looking really, really weird. So let's see it. Okay, so guys, I hope you guys have a amazing weekend. Thank you all for your time, for your patience, for your support, for the kind messages. We are few, but we are special. Okay, and I also want to thank everybody who is supporting me on Patreon. You guys are fantastic. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, so we still have a lot of things to accomplish here. We're not done. Okay, let's keep going because it is time to speed up, not to hit the brake. Okay, guys, thanks again. I hope you guys have a blessing and awesome day. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Thanks again. Stay safe and see ya.